Oh my god.
Nanti aja. Kita masih
Okay.
shit talking soalnya.
No. It has been streamed. So yeah, just stop. Just stop. Yeah, the stream has started.
Ya.
Oh my god.
Why do we start so early?
I can see Jose making a bread in the stream. Oh my god. Oh wait.
Ya Toiban. Rather than we do like a shit talking, how about if I play music?
Yeah.
That can work.
I think Billy is having life with another people right now.
Oh really?
Oh, he have not read yet that we have moved to Jom.
Life is filled with trying times, but so often it all comes down to what you make of it. And you have been so much across the ocean.
I lost everything to you. You say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart to leave. Baby, I'm grieving. If you want to leave, take good care. I hope you got a lot of nice things to wear, but then remember nice things turn bad out there. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two. You know I never want to see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. If you want to leave, take good care. I hope you make a lot of nice friends out there, but remember there's a lot of bad hair. Beware. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. La 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 Oh, baby, it's a wild world.
Gue kira aku BOD.
Tolong.
Just upon a smile. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh, baby. I come home in the morning, like my mother yells, when you're gonna live your life right. Oh, but they deal we're not the fortunate ones, and girls they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. The phone rings in the middle of the night. My father yells, "What you gonna do with your life?" Oh, daddy dear, you know you're still number one. But girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have. That's all they really want. Some fun. When the working day is done, oh, girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have fun. Some boys take a beautiful girl and run away from the rest of the world. I wanna be the one to walk in the sun, 'cause girls, they want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have. That's all they really want. Some fun. When the working day. Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? How my poor heart aches with every step you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every claim you stake, every smile you fake, I'll be watching you. Since you're gone, I've been lost without a trace. I keep at night, I can only see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. I feel so cold and I long for your embrace. I keep crying, baby, baby, please. Every breath you take. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? How my poor heart aches with every breath you take, every move you make, every fall you break, every claim you stake, every smile you fake, I'll be watching you. Oh, every move you make, every step
Wait, let us do the what announcement to the delegates group.
Your routine's to turn it on, leave them burning and then you're gone. Looking out for another, anyone will do. You're in the mood for a dance. And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. Digging the dancing Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a cool boy, I need no sympathy, because I just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on, as if nothing really matters. Too late, my time is gone. Sent shivers to my spine, body's aching all the time. But I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind. Mama.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
just stop playing the song. Okay.
But it's all
Or a lofi, I guess.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can
Hello, test, test, test. Hello, test, test. Okay, yeah, sure. Hello, test, test.
For the chairs and committee members, please turn on your camera. Okay, seeing it's already 9:30, so we will proceed to the opening ceremony. And the opening ceremony starts in 3, 2, 1. Okay, greetings delegates, honorable chairs, and esteemed secretariat. It is my honor to welcome you to the online distancing Model United Nations 2.0. Odiman 2.0 is the platform that gathers delegates from 41 countries around the world and from various MUN experiences to share their different aspirations. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Helen Gracila, or you may know me as Chichi. I'm your Undersecretary General of the Delegate Relations Affairs. We are so excited that you are here. It is my honor to looking forward to a memorable and successful conference. We know that all of you have been working so hard to research and do a lot of preparations to give your best. And we cannot wait to see how everything comes together at the main event. And now, before we proceed to the main event, which is the committee sessions, we will have an opening ceremonial. For the first agenda, our Secretary General and Director General will give their welcoming remarks. And for the second agenda, we're gonna have a mini webinar entitled From Zero to Hero, the successful journey with Mr. Billy Mambrasar as our amazing guest speaker. He is the President of Indonesia's Special Staff and Advisors. And the last but not least, you'll have another 30 minutes MUN 101 in your respective council, which will be moderated by your chairs. You can use this chance to ask your questions regarding the specific rules of procedures for your council. And without further ado, let's proceed to our first agenda, which is the welcoming remarks from the Odiman 2.0 Secretary General. So, Mr. Muhammad Kasoginuddin, you may have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Helen, for the time. Am I audible? Okay, thank you so much, Helen, for the time. So, first of all, we welcome all of the delegates, the board of DICE, and also the committee to online distancing MUN 2.0. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you to the second edition of online distancing MUN 2.0. And from the very beginning, when I actually joined Odiman 1.0, I wasn't expect that Odiman will be big like this. And for now, with the responsibility that I have, the people from Odiman 1.0 entrust me to become the Secretary General, and now I have to bring the responsibility to become true. And here we have deliver you all with the online distancing MUN 2.0. And I do hope that the delegates and the chairs and the committee also will have fun, will have a memorable experience in online distancing MUN 2.0. And I sure do hope that every preparation that we have prepared from the month of from the month of June can be delivered well to all of you, and we do hope that everyone can be satisfied with our preparation also. So in the opening ceremony, we will also have the mini webinar by Mr. Billy Mambrasar, and I do hope that everyone can pay attention to the knowledge that Mr. Billy Mambrasar will share to all of you. And we will have the MUN 101 in the respective councils, and we will also have the committee sessions, which is the central events for online distancing MUN 2.0. And once again, I welcome all of you to online distancing MUN 2.0, and I make sure that everyone can be ready upon our conference. And I just want to say good luck and cheers to all of us, and keep the spirit up for the chairs, delegates, and also the committees of Audiman 2.0. So thank you so much. Here's my remarks, and I do hope that everyone can be successful and can have a memorable experience in Audiman. Thank you so much, and back to you, Helen.
Okay, thank you for your speech, sir. And now, please welcome the Audiman 2.0 Director General, Ms. Perling Lim, to give her welcoming remarks. You may have the floor.
Thank you, Helen. Good morning, afternoon, and evening to our esteemed Board of Dias, Secretariat members, and of course, our delegates. My name is Perling, and it's my pleasure to serve as Director General of Online Distancing MUN 2.0. First of all, I'd like to thank God for the opportunity given to us to run Online Distancing MUN 2.0 today. I can't thank the Secretariat members enough who have been working all days and night to make this MUN happen. And of course, our hard work can't pay off without you delegates. Thank you so much for sparing your time to come and sharpen your debating, negotiation, and diplomacy skills with us. Either you're a first-timer or an expert, we believe you have the same equal chance to win an award as long as you showcase the real qualities of future leaders. To close my statement, I'd like to wish you all the best, perform at your most, and give your all. And also, by this, I officially open Online Distancing MUN 2.0. Let's showcase our qualities of future leaders with online distancing model innovation. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech, ma'am. And now the Audiman 2.0 is officially open. We'll proceed to the next agenda, which is the mini webinar. It will be moderated by Mr. Kasugi Nurdin, our Secretary General. But before that, we'll have a short promotion from Jogja International Model United Nations, or the JOINMAN 2021. Please welcome the JOINMAN representatives, Ms. Dia Hapsari.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the JOINMAN. JOINMAN is an international MUN based in Yogyakarta, and it will be held on the 18th to 21st March 2021 in the Yogyakarta Marriott Hotel. And we have 8 councils spanning from beginner to advanced so that we can accommodate every delegate. And we also have amazing topics in each council. And why you should join JOINMAN is because we are an MUN that is already experienced in serving the best for delegates, including the best chairs, the best substance, the best facilities, and also the best way for delegates to have fun while gaining some knowledge in MUN. And right now we're opening our regular registration wave, so please don't hesitate and register now. If you want to get more information about JOINMAN, you can head to our Instagram at JOINMAN2020. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'll stop screen sharing. Okay. Okay, all right. So now we'll proceed to our mini webinar entitled From Zero to Hero, the Successful Journey with Mr. Billy Mambrasar as our guest speaker. It will be moderated by our Secretary General, Mr. Kasugi Nurdin. So, Mr. Ogi, you may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you so much, Helen, for the time. So, hello again, delegates and chairs and committees. In the mini webinar titled From Zero to Hero, The Successful Journey by Mr. Billy Mambrasar, I will serve as the moderator of today's mini webinar. And before we entertain Mr. Billy Mambrasar, we would like to share the resume of Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. So I will share the screen. Please be patient. Okay, so this is Mr. Billy Mambrasar's profile. His full name is Mr. Gracia Josapat Jobel Mambrasar, or better known as Mr. Billy Mambrasar. Was he is a young Papuan who founded the Kitong Bisa Foundation that engaged in informal education, providing education for underprivileged children in Papua and West Papua. As you may know, Papua and West Papua is the eastern island in Indonesia. On November 2019, Mr. Billy Mambrasar, along with 20 other Papuans, established the Papua Youth Creative Hub, a business incubator for Papuan entrepreneurs. Mr. Billy Mambrasar also currently serves as one of the 11 special staff of the President of the Republic of Indonesia, which the current President of the Indonesia is Mr. Joko Widodo, for the second term from 2019 to 2024. And Mr. Billy was born in Serui, Yapen Island Regency, Papua, on December 17, 1988. And he was born in a family with a low economy in Yapen Island, Papua province. Prior to working with the government, Mr. Billy Mambrasar will also work as an engineer at the British Oil and Gas Company in British Petroleum. At the company, Mr. Billy was part of the engineering team to work on the Tangguh gas project. Mr. Billy then resigned from the job to establish the Kitong Bisa Foundation. Mr. Billy Mambrasar also has a business and co-founded several businesses units with his colleges to support the operation of the Kitong Bisa Foundation. Mr. Billy Mambrasar completed his bachelor's degree in engineering from the Bandung Institute of Technology, School of Mining and Petroleum Engineering. He then obtained the master's degree in business administration from the Australian National University in 2015. He then pursued his education at Side Business School, University of Oxford. And Mr. Billy Mambrasar is the first Papuan to be admitted into Harvard University. It is definitely a big achievement for Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. And in Harvard, he will be pursuing a PhD in the area of education and human-centered development. Mr. Billy Mambrasar is also an ambassador for the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, of Indonesia for 2019 to 2021, appointed by the Minister of the National Development Planning Agency, or in Indonesia we call as Bappenas, and has been invited to speak at various forums, both nationally and internationally. As an SDGs ambassador, Mr. Billy Mambrasar is actively advocating in national and international seminars to reduce the amount of plastic waste in Indonesia's oceans. In addition, Mr. Billy Mambrasar has also held various business trainings in various places in Indonesia to encourage the creation of young Papuan entrepreneurs. Mr. Billy Mambrasar is also currently appointed by the President of the Republic of Indonesia to oversee the process of building an entrepreneurship development center in Maluku Province and Papua Province called the Papua Youth Creative Hub as a part of the government effort to alleviate poverty and unemployment program in the two provinces. So that's all from the general summary of Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. And in this mini webinar, we actually going to focus our discussion more on the successful journey from Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. According to the general summary, he is a Papuan, which he lives in an environment with a low economy in Yapen Island, and now he has achieved several achievements that most of the people say that there is definitely a great achievement from Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. So before we entertain Mr. Billy Mambrasar, we just gonna have to wait for himself because we're just going to wait for him. So please be patient.
Sir, I think there's like a technical issue with the mini webinar because Mr. Billy haven't arrived or joined the meeting yet. And in order to fill the time, I think it would be great to ask the committee members and the board of DIAS to introduce themselves.
Oh yeah, sir. Since that we have a technical difficulties with Mr. Billy Mambrasar to join our Zoom meeting, to fill the time, we encourage I would say the board of DIAS for now to introduce themselves. in order for the delegates that is currently watching the YouTube live stream to know more about their board of dias. So I'm going to pick the board of dias for now to fill the time. So first we are going to entertain the UNHCR chair, which is currently is attending is Miss Sanskriti. So Miss San, you may introduce yourself.
Hi everyone present here. I am Sanskriti and I'm the co-chair of UNHCR. And I'm
Okay.
really glad to be here at ODMUN.
Okay, thank you, Miss San. And unfortunately, Mr. Sam as the head chair and Mr. Sifam have not arrived yet in the Zoom meeting. So we welcome you, the co-chair of the UNSCR, which is Miss San. And second, we would like to entertain the chairs from the UN Women. The chairs from the UN Women, you may introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, this is Vidit, the co-chair of UN Women, and I'm really excited for this conference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vidit. And next, maybe Miss Lulu want to introduce herself. Miss Lulu, you may introduce yourself to the delegates. Okay, seeing that Ms. Lolo doesn't respond to my call, we are going to skip the UN Women chairs for right now. So, as you may know, that the UN Women chairs consist of Ms. Lulu as the head chair, Mr. Fidit as the co-chair, and Miss Raisa as the co-chairs also. But unfortunately, Miss Raisa couldn't come to the Zoom meeting right now, to the opening ceremony. So now next, we are entertaining the chair from the United Nations Environment Program. As we can see here, Mr. Divan has arrived in the Zoom meeting. So Mr. Divan, you may introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Divan. I will be serving as a co-chair in UNEP. Alongside, I will be accompanied by Radivan, which is the head chair of UNEP, and also Sumaya, my other co-chair for UNEP. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Divan. And yeah, seeing that Mr. Radivan and Ms. Sumaya have not come to the Zoom meeting, so yeah, so the chair of the UNEP will consist of Mr. Radivan as the head chair, Mr. Divan, and Ms. Sumaya as the co-chairs. So next, we entertain the editor-in-chief of Press Corps. So maybe Mr. Jeff wants to introduce himself. You may have the floor.
All right, thank you, Ogi. Good morning, everyone. My name is actually Jeff. I'm from the country of Indonesia, as you may know. I'll be serving as the editor-in-chief, and I do expect from all of you journalists here to send high-quality articles to be featured in the website. That's all. I believe that all of you can do it, and good luck alongside the way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jeff, for the introduction. And I see that Mr. The co-editor-in-chief has not come yet. So yeah, the Mr. Jeff will serve as the editor-in-chief of Press Corps, while Mr. The other editor-in-chief has not come yet to the Zoom meeting, but they will serve you as the editor-in-chief of Press Corps. Oh yeah, Mr. Jonas, I'm sorry, I forgot his name. Mr. Jonas Simaranker will act as the co-editor-in-chief of the Press Corps. Yeah. Okay, so now we move on to the intermediate consoles. First, we entertain the UNODC chairs. I see here we have Miss Gabby in the Zoom meeting, so maybe Miss Gabby wants to introduce herself.
Hello guys, my name is Gabby and I will be serving as the co-chair of UNODC alongside with my head chair Jordan and my other co-chair Chris. See you in the conference, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Gabby, for the information. The UNODC chairs will consist of Mr. Jordan as the head chair, Ms. Gabby and Mr. Chris as the co-chairs of the UNODC. Next, we have the Pacific Island Forum chairs. Who wants to start the introduction? Maybe the head chair or the co-chair.
My name is Shubham Bhatia, and I live in New Delhi. I will be serving as the head chair of the Pacific Island Forum, and looking forward to meeting with you delegates, and may the diplomacy win.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Subham. And next is Ms. Alfina. You may introduce yourself.
Hey, hello everyone. Here is Elvina, and I'll be serving as the co-chair for Pacific Island Forum. I'm from Pakistan, but I'm living in Malaysia, more specifically in Kuala Lumpur. And yes, I'm excited to be your chair, and I would love to hear the debates from you all.
For the Pacific Island Forum chairs, we have Mr. Subham as the head chair, Ms. Alfina, and also Mr. Hanif as the co-chairs of the Pacific Island Forum. So next we entertain, okay, let me see the list. So we entertain next the European Union chairs. So the head chair of European Union, you may introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Nunez. I'm born and raised in Mexico City, here in Mexico. It's a 12-hour difference actually, so right now for me, okay, you can see it because of the virtual background, 9:49 p.m., so it's going to be a long and exciting night.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daniel, for the statement. So since that the co-chairs of the EU have not come yet, if I see from the list, so I'm going to announce the chairs from the European Union, which is Mr. Daniel as the head chair, and the other European Union chairs. We have Mr. Ilyasa and Ms. Felicia as the co-chairs. And for the last, in the intermediate councils, we have legal committee chair. So the legal committee chairs, you may introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Farah. I'm from Indonesia, and I'm so excited to meet with you all of the delegates later. Good luck, guys.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Farah, for the statement. And next, maybe the co-chair, Ms. Ridi.
Hello everyone, I'm Riddhi Goenka, and I am really very excited to chair the committee. I am from India and very happy to be a part of ODMUN. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Ridi. Due to Mr. Kausal has not come to the Zoom meeting also, we would like to announce the legal committee chairs, which is Ms. Farah as the head chair, Mr. Kausal, and Ms. Ridi as the co-chairs. And seeing that the intermediate councils have been introduced by me, so now I'm going to introduce the chairs from the advanced councils. So the first one is, okay, so the UNSC chairs have not come to the Zoom meeting. So let me introduce the United Nations Security Council chairs, which we have Mr. Naman as the head chair, and a substitutional chair, which is Mr. Timmy, to handle the position from Mr. Fatsal, because Mr. Fatsal sadly cannot come to the online distancing MUN. We also have Ms. Akansa serving as the co-chair with Mr. Timmy as the substitute chair for Mr. Fatsal. Okay, so the last but not least, we have the crisis committee chairs. The crisis committee chairs, you may introduce yourself.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Davi.
Okay, yes, thank you. Hello, my name is Davi. I'm from Indonesia and I'm 16 years old, and I will be serving as the co-chair for the crisis committee. Thank you, and I really hope you look forward to our conference.
Thank you, Mr. Duffy, for the statement. Wait, do we have Mr. Jason? Oh yeah, Mr. Jason, you may introduce yourself also.
Hello, my name is Jason. So I will be the chair for crisis committee. I'm looking forward for the substantive directives and substantive actions upon the crisis committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jason. And seeing that the front room of the crisis committee have introduced themselves, and the back room of the crisis committee have not came yet to the Zoom meeting. So I'm going to introduce the lineup of the back room of the crisis committee. So we have Mr. Carlos Ramos from Peru as acting as the head crisis director of the crisis committee. And also we have Mr. Reinald Gozali acting as the co-crisis director. And also we have two additional crisis directors, which are Mr. Hans Marvin and Ms. Celine Budiman as acting as the co-crisis director, the substitutes. Okay, so that's all from the Board of Dice introductions. To fill the time due to Mr. Billy Mambrasar has the technical difficulty to join the Zoom meeting. Okay, so please be patient, delegates, committees, and chairs, because Mr. Billy Mambrasar has still having technical difficulties with his Zoom meeting. So please be patient. Okay. Okay. Is it appropriate to play here? Okay. Okay. Seeing that Mr. Billy Mambrasar has not come yet to the Zoom meeting, so maybe I will tell a little story about ODMUN 1.0 to reminiscing the history of online distancing MUN 1.0 in order for you to know the difference between ODMUN 1.0 and ODMUN 2.0. And we are very sorry for the lateness of the mini webinar. We are very sorry, delegates and the chairs and the committees. So yeah, now I'm just going to tell a little story about ODMUN 1.0. So this is from my perspective because I was actually the part of ODMUN 1.0. So yeah, at that time ODMUN was still a mini online MUN that most of the people don't know about the section of online distancing MUN 2.0 themselves. Like most of the people are still struggling to move on from the offline MUN to online MUN, and yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So we actually have Mr. Billy Mambrasar here. So hello, sir.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, thank you, sir, for coming to the mini webinar. And I'm sorry, I have to cut my story from ODMUN 1.0. So, how's your life, Mr. Billy? Is it okay?
Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm struggling to get the internet connection. I'm not in Jakarta right now. I'm in my place, my village. So the internet connection is not good. Can you give me a moment? So let me try to. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's okay, Mr. Billy. We will wait for you. Okay. So, yeah, all the watchers of the live stream, we have Mr. Billy Mambrasar in the house. So we will wait for Mr. Billy Mambrasar to fix his Zoom meeting right now. So, yeah. You need to be mindful that Mr. Billy Mambrasar is the president of Indonesia's special staff. So he's definitely really busy with all of his hectic work. So like right now, you see that Mr. Billy Mambrasar is in the car. So he's definitely really busy to manage the problems of a country, the real country, not like in MUN, like we role play, we do role play as a delegate to actually fix, to actually in quote mimicking solving the problem in the real life, but unfortunately we are not, because we are role playing. But Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself has actually managed the real problems that is happening in the country of Indonesia. So so Mr. Billy Mambrasar is definitely really busy with his schedule. So please be patient, watchers, and yeah, and we are very sorry for our tardiness, for sure. We are very sorry. but we deliver the best of us. So yeah, please be patient.
Sir, I think you can continue with your the first Odiman story.
Okay, so yeah, since that Mr. Billy Mambrasar again has to fix his technical difficulties, so I'm just going to continue my story. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to continue my story. So like back again, I mean, Audiman 1.0 was still a mini MUN online MUN conference. Like most of the people don't know the existence of Audiman. At one point when they actually have a preparation to reveal the committee, like I was approached by a person, and this person was actually the former Undersecretary General of Academic Affairs, which is shout out to Mr. Huspi. Yeah, he was actually the first USC of ACADS before the current Mr. ACADS, Mr. Fikri. Yeah, he was actually he approached me to become the part of the team in the academic affairs, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a new thing. Even though that at that point when the pandemic of COVID-19 started, like I was still struggling with the online environment because yeah, all of us don't expect that COVID-19 actually hits the world, and yeah, we still are struggling with the online environment. So with this chance from Mr. Huspi to give me the chance to become the part of the academic team of Audiman 1.0, I was like, okay, I will take it. I'm just going to take this chance. And yeah, is Mr. Billy here or not? I think he's not here yet, so I'm just continue my story. Okay, so yeah, after I accept the opportunity from Mr. Huspi, I was working under how many members in the academic affairs back then? If I'm not mistaken, it was around 5 or 6 people in the academic affairs, and I mean we don't know each other because we are far away from each other. We are not in the same city, in the same region. But fortunately, we can communicate and manage the communication between each other. And yeah, the academic team has done several great jobs to actually uh, like manage the preparation of the consoles and the topics in the Audiman 1.0 back in the days. So at that time, I was actually supervising the United Nations Security Council. Along with the chairs, we actually have Mr. Naman, the current head chair of the UNSC. Back then, he was actually the co-chair of the United Nations Security Council. And actually one of the committee in the delegate relation affairs, Mr. Jose, he was actually the head chair of the United Nations Security Council, and along with Mr. Fahmi, unfortunately he's not the part of Audiman 2.0 right now, and also along with Miss Indah, Miss Indah, yeah, Miss Indah, yeah, Miss Indah act right now in Audiman 2.0. He's actually participating as the Instagram live session speaker, and spoiler here, yeah, he's actually a delegate in a council. Yeah, she's actually a delegate in a council, Miss Indah, the Instagram live session speaker. So yeah, so after that, I mean, we deliberate the United Nations Security Council, like what are going to be the ways that we are going to do with this council, and I'm just like supervising the work of the chairs because to be honest, the chair of the UNSA is, I would say, the most active board of directors lineup in the Audiman 1.0, because for me, in my perspective, like the other chairs, they just like do their job professionally, like they don't really have that fun dynamic between each other. And while the United Nations Security Council chairs, I mean, their dynamics are just awesome. I mean, what do you think, Jose? Oh my god. Okay. Oh my.
Uh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry that the internet connection is not stable. So I've been struggling to kind of connect with the link that you guys sent. But in case that it's gonna be disconnecting again, I would kindly overview for us to start it right now. Maybe just question and answer. So if you can, give me question and I'll respond directly, that would be efficient, time efficient. So yeah,
Okay.
let's start it right now.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the time in online distancing MUN 2.0. So I'm just going to give several questions to you, sir, and then we will accommodate the question from the delegates. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, how is your life before you actually become who you are today? Like, what is your life before you become the president of Indonesia Special Staff and you found the Kitong Bisa Foundation? Like, what is your life before that, Mr. Billy?
My life before that, I was a social activist. I was a social entrepreneur. So I've been focusing on doing the work around education and try to kind of provide free educations for the underprivileged society. And in fact, right now I am in my village, and that's the reason why the internet here is not good. But what I've been doing for years is actually delivering the free education, increased access, education accessibility for the underprivileged community. And the reason, uh, the reason being why I'm so passionate about education and social movement is that I come from a very underprivileged background as well. So I was kind of struggling to get good education, and I wanted I come from a very marginalized background, minorities, and my parents or my family has no kind of privilege. So to get to get education, I have to study hard and get scholarship. Otherwise, even for my elementary school and junior high school, we couldn't pay for it. So I got scholarship, and I was very thankful of it. And I got scholarship to also finish my graduate study and scholarship to study overseas. I studied in Oxford University in England and also Australian National University, all by scholarship. And when I came back home to my country, I decided to start a foundation, a non-for-profit, so that I can help the other Indonesian children who face difficulties like myself to get good educations. So we can help providing them education so that they can have bright future. So that's my activities before being the special staff. But actually, even being appointed as a special staff, I still keep doing the social activities that I did before.
Okay, that is a wonderful answer, Mr. Billy. So the next question will be, what are the challenges that you face when you are struggling to reach your dream, sir?
Um, yeah, exactly. I exactly as I said before, I had financial hardship. Um, it was very hard for me to pay for my tuition fee because my parents didn't send me money. So when I studied and during my undergrad study, I had to also make money myself. Like I had to sell cookies on the street, I had to sing in the street. So I did a lot of things to actually make money for paying for my needs. So that's the first struggle that I faced. The second struggle that I faced was actually I felt inferior, like inferiority complex. So I didn't feel confident about myself and that I could reach my dreams. So thankfully, I made friends with kind-hearted people. My friends supported me so well, so they kind of motivated me, encouraged me, make me believe in my dreams. So yeah, that's two struggles that I faced.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the answer. So the next question will be, how can you manage the challenges that you face to reach your dream? Like especially like you mentioned that your problem is in regards to paying the tuition fee. Like how can you manage like for ensure that your tuition fee can be paid in on
Yeah,
time?
I've told this story before that I did a lot of things to make money for myself. I sold cookies on the street. I sang. in the street, like busking, also sang in the cafe. So I did a lot of things to make money for myself. I looked for money. I made money for myself by being street vendor and stuff. Yeah, and I survived. Then at the second year, I got scholarship. Yeah.
Okay, that is a really wonderful answer, Mr. Billy. And the next question will be, how do you feel that you are now successful and finally reach your dream? Because for me, like if I reach my dream also, and it will be really a satisfying moment for me. But how's your perspective on that, sir?
So success, I mean, different people will have different definition of success, right? But some people define success as having a wonderful life by having a fancy car, house, businesses, and high class like high class living lifestyle, like using airplane in the business class and stuff. But for me, success is actually as simple as having a simple life while contributing for other people. So that's my definition of success. And feeling that I can contribute for other people, that I can make other people's lives better, that I can teach the underprivileged students, I feel happy, and that's success for me. So my feeling about being successful is if I can keep growing myself to be more mature, to be wise, and to help as many people as I could, then I'll feel enough. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Billy. And the next question will be, seeing that your definition of success is focusing more on your well-being, not with the money and the resource that you have. So, like, is there a significant difference between before and after you become successful? Like either in your lifestyle maybe, or your behavior, or your perspective. So, what do you think, sir?
Again, it depends on our definition of success, right? I read one of the book written by Mark Ramson, and it was very wonderful. Sorry, Mark Ramson, and I read the second book written. It's about Stoa philosophy, and both books explain about the definition of success from the perspective of certain people, and I do believe in that philosophy, and that's what I am taking with me right now. Is that when we define our success on the materials and well-being, we will never ever feel enough or content. We'll still be looking for more. We want to make more money. We want to have a good or better car, a better house. We'll keep looking for more and better. For me, I define my success as non-material things. If I see that someone is happy because I make that person happy, then I'll feel happy, and that's success for me. So the difference between before being successful and now that I can be successfully helping other people to have a better life, I feel happy every day, every time, every moment. I feel happy, like what I'm doing right now, talking to you guys. Even though I have a very very tight schedule, like in the next 15 minutes, I have to talk in another event online, so I have to excuse myself from you guys. But having this wonderful 15 minutes talking to you, make you understand and believe in yourself, is a happiness for me, and I feel happy, like an everlasting happiness. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the answer. So,
Yep.
seeing that Mr. Billy will have like 15 minutes left, Mr. Billy, in the meeting.
Yep.
Okay, so we will make the questions concise and simple as possible. So, this is actually the last question from myself, and then after this, we will entertain Q&A session from the watchers, and then we will have the certificate handover to you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the last question from me as the moderator is, can you please share us your tips and tricks on how to be successful?
All right. So number one, define your success. What is successful to you? Define it first, and really kind of understand and hold to it. So number one is define. And when I said define your success, it's not as easy as it sounds. It takes time. It takes life experience for you to understand what is success for me and what is life for me. After understanding your definition of success or successful, then number two, work very hard to pursue it. Because the difference between people who are successful and people who are not successful are actually those who are not successful in achieving their dreams will stop when other people who are successful right now keep going, keep pursuing it, keep working hard to get it. So never give up in achieving your dreams and working really hard to be successful. Number three, you cannot be successful without other people. Successful is not just about ourselves, our own glory, that I am known, that I am famous, that everybody look up to me respectfully. It's not about that. We need other people to achieve our success. We need other people to work together with us to achieve our dreams. So please be open-minded and open yourself to kind of, work with other people, love other people, and work with them genuinely. You cannot be successful without other people. All right, you have to be a team player. You have to be a sociable person that you can share your burden and dreams to other people, so that you guys can work together to achieve it together. Number four, um, always always define your success. Now, always link your definition of happiness with immaterial things. All right, don't link it with the material things, because as I told you before, when you define your success on the material things, like I want to have a good job, when you get a good job, you want to look for a better job, then you look for another better job, and you keep looking for another better job. And I've seen and I've experienced it when I tried to define my success in my career or in my job, I felt unsatisfied every single moment. Like I kept looking for a better one and I didn't find a better one. All right. So my advice and my suggestion for you guys is define your happiness not based on the material things, so that you can feel content in every single moment of your life. And lastly, keep praying for it and ask for the blessings from your parents. Without your parents, we cannot be like who we are right now. So keep asking for the blessings and prayer from our parents, then we'll be fine in our life. So that's 5 tips and tricks for you guys. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Billy, for the answers. It is really a touching answer for all of us. In order for us to, maybe we can use your tips and tricks for us to be successful in a good way. Okay. So we are going to continue to the next session, which is the Q&A session. So we are going to compile the questions from the YouTube Live because we are streaming right now in the YouTube Live. So we actually have contained one question from the YouTube Live comment, which it is the question on the matter of what is your specific job as the President of Indonesia's Special Staff, Mr. Billy?
All right. So president special staff is something that has been existing since the first president of Indonesia. So it's not something new. Every president they'll have their own special staff. So being appointed as special staff is being somebody around the president who can give advice. So it's very simple. When he asks questions, you answer. That's all. We don't have programs. We don't have budget because we are not minister. The minister and ministries, they have programs, they have budget. Special staff, we don't have programs, we don't have budget. Our work is as simple as giving advice to the president. That's all. So there are meetings that we attend, and in that meetings we provide our insights to the presidents. Sometimes the president sent us, request to do to find for information about certain topics. And based on my experience on the previous 9 months, the things that the president requested from me could ranging from the education topics to the spatial autonomy issue in Papua to entrepreneurship issues. So like the president will request, like provide me with 1 page of a brief on this topic. So me and my team will do research, work, and study and provide the advice for the president, written or verbally. So it's a very simple task, but not easy job to do because there are things that I have to learn quickly. I have to find information. I have to do research. But I'm thankful that I get assistant from my team. So I have a team members, like it's 5 of them, who do research, help me doing research, find some studies, and doing a written recommendations for the president. Sometimes I also listen to input from you guys, so you're free to give me inputs on insights so that I can tell the president on what you think of some issues. So feel free to follow my Instagram at Billy Mambrasar. Billy Mambrasar. Follow my Instagram and shoot me with questions or inputs or critics on the DM, direct message. Then I'll kind of formulate it and give to the president. Yep. So that's my
Okay.
answer. Yep.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the answer. So we will entertain 2 more questions. So the last first question will be, what is your biggest accomplishment, sir? Like it can be anything, like it can be materialistic or it can be like from yourself.
Okay. I think my biggest accomplishment, because I link to my definition of success, is that when I make other people happy and other people fulfilled and other people have a better life, that I'll feel that I have successful enough. So my biggest accomplishment so far was when I finished my undergrad. When I finished my undergrad and I presented my diploma to my parents, they felt very happy and they felt very proud because I am the first one in our big family to ever finish my undergrad, to ever finish undergrad. So it's an accomplishment not only for me, but for my big family. And it has been an inspiration for other kids in my neighborhood, in my village, the story that I can finish my undergrad, and a lot of people, a lot of youth now follow my steps to also finish the undergrads. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the answer. And one last question. For me, this is actually a pretty interesting fact, given the fact that I'm actually interested in the case of status quo in Papua. So the question will be, what is the biggest challenges to educate children in the eastern Indonesia, especially in the Papua province and Maluku? From your experience, sir, what do you think about the question?
It's a very good question. Number one, the numbers of teachers. We are lack of teachers here. It's not a lot of teachers available to teach educated and quality teachers. So we hope that lots of programs are invested by the government to increase the numbers of the teachers sent to Papua and Maluku. Number two is the quality of the infrastructure. Because if you see around Jakarta or around Bandung, you're gonna see the high availability of schools with good buildings, internet and technology facility, even electricity. Here in this area, mostly, it's still privileged for most schools. So I hope that my presence, being one of the special staffer in the government, I can give advice for the government to actually increase the accessibility to quality infrastructure. Number three is mindset. So we need to kind of provide inspirations and motivations for the younger kids here, so they have options in their minds, they can have alternatives and make options in their life. For instance, tell them about your professions, your job, so that they can have dreams in that jobs or profession. I think that's 3 challenges that I faced based on my experience.
Okay, thank you, sir. So seems that we have entertained 3 questions from the Q&A session. So thank you, sir, for answering the question. So we move on to the second last session of today, which is the general summary of the mini webinar itself. So I'm going to summarize the answer from Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself. So basically, Mr. Billy Mambrasar is focusing more on the successful journey where you actually value yourself, not focusing more on the realistic or materialistic stuff. Like for example, if you are too focused on your money, if your successful aim is to actually gain more money, gain more resource, then we afraid that it's not going to be good for you because it will eat you, in quote, eat you in your well-being. So we suggest from Mr. Billy Mambrasar perspective that we should focusing our successful journey aim to be more focusing on ourselves in terms of our well-being, in terms of relation with the others. So in order for our successful journey to be beneficial in terms of good perception to the people and to ourselves. So that's probably the general summary that I can give. So even though that you are from the family which doesn't have a big amount of money, doesn't have a lot of opportunities in life, and you are not really that privileged, but Mr. Billy Mambrasar shows that that kind of status quo can be changed upon, and with the hard work from Mr. Billy Mambrasar himself, he has achieved several accomplishments that from the people of his neighborhood cannot believe that he actually can reach upon the dreams. So that's the general summary that I can give from the mini webinar. So from the before we do the online photo session, I just want to give the certificate to you, sir. We will share the certificate to your email, but we will show the certificate right now. So please be patient, sir. Okay. Okay, so this is the certificate of appreciation for Mr. Billy
Thank
Mambrasar
you, guys.
yes, to
Yeah.
act as our guest speaker in today's mini webinar. And I do hope that Mr. Billy Mambrasar's answer can influence all of us, not just the delegates, but also the board of directors and the committee also. So thank you, Mr. Billy Mambrasar. And
Thank
before
you
we
so
wrap
much.
up the mini webinar, we will do the online photo session. So maybe from the committee or all the chairs, all the committees can turn on their camera. Okay, who's going to do the countdown?
I'll do the count. 3.
Okay. Wait.
The chairs,
Yeah.
please open up camera so like the picture looks better actually.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, it's done.
Okay,
Thank you.
so thank you so much, Mr. Billy Mambrasar, for attending the mini webinar, and I do hope that all of your works can be done quickly, and I hope that you can influence all the people around the world that you can be successful, even though that you are that you don't believe that you are successful in the very beginning. So thank you, sir, for the insightful stories and answers, and see you, sir, in the next occasion. Thank you, Mr. Billy.
See you.
Bye. Okay, so that's from the mini webinar session. So I do hope that the delegates, the board of directors, and the committees can gain a lot of experience, can get a lot of experience in terms of how to be successful when it comes to your daily life. So I give back the moderator to the MC. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Billy Mambrasar, for delivering such a meaningful motivation speech for all of us. And thank you for Mr. Kasudinurdin for moderating the whole mini webinar. And now, before we proceed to our next agenda, which is the MUN 101, and it will be held in your respective council, please let me remind all of us here about our MUN 2.0 donation program with UNICEF Indonesia. Please wait a minute, I will start screen sharing. Okay. Yeah. Just like what our guest speaker said before, to have a successful journey, one of the tips is that we should help each other. Honorable delegates, as you have known that COVID-19 affects many people, including children's immunizations programs and that have been interrupted and also temporarily discontinued. The number of children's malnutrition will increase as a result of difficulties in accessing nutritious food. Closed schools will affect the children's development, particularly those who didn't have internet access or online learning gadget. The ODMAN 2.0 is taking part in supporting children that got affected by COVID-19 and asking you all to join the action to contribute. You can donate your money through the link that's shown on the screen. Yep, it's here. It's unicef.id/odiman lawan COVID. All of your donations will be channeled through UNICEF Indonesia. And for further information about the donation program, you can contact one of the committee members or you can chat me if you want to. Okay. Now, for the last agenda, we'll have MUN 1.0 in your respective council, which will be led by your chairs. The Zoom meeting link or ID and password to MUN 1.0 will be sent through your own council WhatsApp group. So please look forward to it. To join the meeting room, you may click the link or insert the meeting ID and password by yourself. Once you are in the meeting room, please rename yourself with the format that will be given along with the meeting link. The format will be your country allocation dash your council and dash your name. For example, Thailand dash UN Women dash Helen Drashila. It's my name. So your country allocation dash your council dash your name. And with this, we are coming to the end of the MUN 2.0 opening ceremony. I would like to remind you that any questions or concerns may be shared with our secretariat or your chairs through WhatsApp. Thank you for attending the opening ceremony, and we wish you all the best of luck in your debates today. Opening ceremony of the MUN 2.0 is adjourned. Thank you. And I would like to remind that please take a look at your WhatsApp group, council WhatsApp group. We'll send the link. You may leave the meeting now if you want to, guys, because I know that you are the PIC of some council.